All right, so get ready. Because today we're going to be jumping into a universe where towels are like the most important thing you can have.
Oh, yeah.
And 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
The ultimate answer.
We're deep diving into Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Such a classic.
Now I got to ask,
Yeah.
what exactly are Vogons?
Okay, so picture like the most bureaucratic people you can possibly imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Like just unpleasant.
Uh-huh.
And then give them a love for just the worst poetry imaginable. And then just get rid of any like joy or fun that they could possibly have.
Wow.
Yeah, those are Vogons.
So they're not the kind of folks that you'd want to invite over for like tea and biscuits.
Definitely not.
No.
And Arthur Dent,
Yeah.
our main guy, he kind of finds this out the hard way.
Oh,
Because his friend Ford Prefect drops a bit of a bombshell on him.
does he ever?
He says, oh, by the way, I'm not actually from Guildford.
What?
I'm an alien researcher, and I've been stuck on this planet.
Oh, my goodness.
And by the way, the planet's about to be destroyed by these Vogons.
Talk about a way to spice up your Thursday morning.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Ford, though, being the resourceful alien that he is, he manages to get them off Earth just in the nick of time.
Just in time.
They hitch a ride on a Vogon spaceship.
That was a close one.
That was a very close one.
Going from like sipping tea to suddenly watching your planet explode
Right.
from the viewport of a spaceship.
Yeah, I can only imagine that Arthur's going through it a little bit at this point.
A little bit of an existential crisis, I
Yeah,
think.
just a tad.
Just a smidge.
So what is it like aboard a Vogon spaceship?
Oh.
Is it luxury accommodations? Or is it more like a budget airline?
Vogons are not known for their like interior design,
Right.
their hospitality.
Okay.
Think like cold steel,
Ah.
harsh lighting, and definitely no comfortable seating.
So not exactly a cruise liner then?
Not unless cruises involve forced poetry readings
Oh, no.
as punishment.
That sounds awful.
It's pretty terrible,
I bet.
especially when it's Vogon poetry.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's bad poetry and then there's Vogon poetry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you might be wondering, how do they even understand these Vogons?
Yeah, how are they understanding the Vogon?
It's this thing called the babblefish.
Okay.
And it's this tiny little creature, and you stick it in your ear,
Oh.
and it translates any language by
What?
feeding on brainwave energy.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
But also kind of gross.
you get used to it.
Okay.
But anyway, their time on this Vogon ship is going to be very short-lived.
Okay.
Because stowaways are not exactly welcome.
Oh.
And after a particularly brutal poetry reading, they get thrown out in airlock.
Into space.
Into space.
What happens next?
Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Remember how we said that the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says that a towel is like the most important thing you can have?
Oh, yeah.
And Arthur just so happens to have his towel.
Never leave Earth without your towel.
It's practically the motto.
Yeah.
So adrift in space, facing certain death,
Oh, yeah.
they are saved by the heart of gold.
Oh, wow.
This ship is powered by something called the infinite improbability drive,
Okay.
which means it can basically travel anywhere in the universe instantaneously.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Big upgrade from the Vogon ship.
For sure.
Yeah.
So who is piloting this marvel of improbability?
That would be Zaphod Beeblebrox,
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
the two-headed, three-armed, semi-galactic president.
Now, that's a name you don't forget.
No, you don't.
And a friend of Ford's from way back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
So Zaphod's kind of a big deal.
he is, he's charming, he's reckless, he's always got some big plan going on.
Yeah.
And actually stealing the heart of gold was his whole reason for becoming president.
Well, always one step ahead.
Always one step ahead.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
So he's
yeah.
got this stolen spaceship.
Yes.
What's he going to do with it?
He's on this quest to find the legendary planet Magrathea, which is this world where they make custom planets for the super rich.
A planet that makes planets?
I know.
That's incredible.
It's a little bit mind-blowing.
Yeah. But why Magrathea?
Even he doesn't really know. He just kind of feels like there's something important there.
So he's just going on vibes?
He just goes on vibes. He's a little bit eccentric.
That's awesome.
But, you know, there's a certain brilliance to his madness.
I like him already.
Right.
Okay, so who else is on this cosmic treasure hunt?
So there's Trillian.
Okay.
She's a woman Zaphod met back on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
She was going by Trisha McMillian back then.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a brilliant astrophysicist.
Eyes.
And honestly, she's the voice of reason on this ship.
Right.
And then we have Marvin,
Wall of that.
the perpetually depressed robot.
Uh-oh.
He's got a brain the size of a planet,
Wow.
but he's just plagued by existential ennui.
So like Eeyore, but a robot.
Pretty much.
Got it.
Every adventure needs a pessimist.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So they set off for this legendary planet.
Do they find it?
They do.
It's okay.
But Magrathea is not what they expected.
Oh.
It's desolate, it's quiet, and it's seemingly been inactive for millions of years.
So it's like a cosmic ghost town.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, but this is Douglas Adams.
Sure.
Things are never quite what they seem.
Right.
So just as they're about to give up
Yeah.
and leave,
Yeah.
they accidentally trigger the planet's ancient defenses,
Oh.
which causes the Heart of Gold to crash land on Magrathea.
Oh, no.
And to make matters worse,
Well.
the infinite improbability drive malfunctions
Oh, no.
and creates a sperm whale and a bowl of petunias a few miles above the planet.
A whale and a bowl of petunias.
Yes.
Where did they come from?
That is the beauty of the infinite improbability drive.
Okay.
It can literally turn anything into anything else.
Wow.
So in this case, a cup of tea becomes a spaceship or a whale, and some flowers just pop into existence.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's all part of the absurdity of this universe.
Poor whale. Poor petunias.
I don't know. Poor Arthur.
Yeah. He has come a long way from that quiet Thursday morning
He really has.
on a planet that was about to be demolished.
So where does the story go from here?
Well, you'll have to wait until part 2 to find out.
Yeah?
So they're stuck on Magrathea,
Yeah,
this planet that's supposed to be this planet-making factory,
right.
but it's like a ghost town.
Totally.
And they've set off these crazy defenses.
Rough landing.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what I think is so cool?
What's that?
Is how Adams uses this, like, sci-fi adventure
Uh-huh.
to explore all these deeper themes.
Oh, like what kind of themes?
Well, remember those mice that Trillian brought with her?
Oh, yeah, from Earth.
Yeah, they're not just ordinary mice.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these mice.
They're these hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings,
What?
and they actually commissioned Earth
To be
a
young.
giant computer.
Hold on, you're saying Earth was just a big organic computer built by mice?
Pretty much, yeah. What? Their whole mission was to calculate the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
Wow, so the mice were basically running the show the whole time.
They were pulling the strings, yeah.
And they were so close to getting the answer.
They were this close.
So what happened? Why was Earth destroyed 5 minutes before the calculation was finished?
The Vogons needed to build their bypass.
Oh, right.
Classic case of cosmic irony.
Yeah, that's some really bad timing.
It really is.
Talk about a major setback for these mice.
Yeah, but they still need to find the ultimate question.
Of course.
And Earth is gone,
Right.
so they need a new planet,
Makes sense.
a new computer.
So that's where Magrathea comes in.
That's where Magrathea comes in.
Okay, it's all starting to make sense now.
It is, right? But here's another twist.
Okay, hit me with it.
Remember that deep voice we heard right before the Heart of Gold crashed?
Oh, yeah.
That was Deep Thought,
Deep thought.
the supercomputer who calculated the answer.
The answer is
42. 42. That's it. That's the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
that's what deep thought came up with.
Wow.
But get this.
Yeah.
Deep thought couldn't tell them what the actual question was.
Oh, no.
It's like having the answer to a math problem,
Right.
but not knowing the problem itself.
That's so frustrating.
It really is.
So they've got the answer, but no question.
Exactly.
That's a very strange place to be.
But the mice haven't given up.
Of course not.
And now they think Arthur might be the key.
Arthur, our average Englishman.
Yep, they think because he was on Earth right before it was destroyed,
Okay.
some part of his subconscious might still have a trace of the question.
So they want to dissect his brain to find the ultimate question.
That's the plan.
Wow, these mice are intense.
They're very dedicated to their mission.
Yeah. So what about Zaphod?
Mm-hmm.
Is he on board with this whole brain dissection idea?
He actually finds it kind of amusing,
Of course he does.
but Arthur, not so much.
I can't imagine why.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's this whole chase, standoff with the Magrathian police,
What happened?
and then Marvin, our depressed robot.
Yeah.
He kind of saves the day.
How does a depressed robot save the day?
Well, he depresses the police ship's computer into suicide.
Only Marvin.
I know, right? So they escape the mice,
Uh-huh.
the cops in Magrathea.
So do they ever find out what the ultimate question is?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The story doesn't really give us all the answers.
What do you mean?
The mice, they reveal that they've actually been offered a ton of money to host a 5D chat show.
What?
Yeah, so they decide to take the money and run.
Will they just give up? After all this time?
They kind of realize that the universe might be run by maniacs.
Okay.
And if that's the case, maybe it's bigger to just enjoy the ride.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So Arthur's left with the answer 42.
42,
Yeah.
but no question.
Wow. So it's like the journey is more important than the destination.
Exactly.
So we've reached the end of this wild
I know.
and crazy adventure,
Totally.
and we're left with more questions than answers. It happens.
So what's the takeaway here? What does it all mean?
Maybe there isn't one answer, you know?
Okay.
Maybe it's about embracing the absurdity of it all
Uh-huh.
and finding your own meaning in the chaos.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got these mice running around,
Yes.
a new Earth being built, and Arthur right in the thick of it.
Yeah, it's time to meet the folks behind all of this.
Oh, okay. The ones who paid for the new Earth.
Exactly. Slartibartfast mentioned them.
Yeah, so who are they?
Well, they're not really who, they're more like what?
Okay.
Imagine beings from another dimension,
Okay.
and they're completely obsessed with the ultimate question.
So it's not just the mice who want to know this question.
Nope. These beings hired the mice
Really?
to create Earth, that giant computer.
To get the question.
Yeah, they've been in charge the whole time.
So the mice are like middle management for this massive project.
Pretty much they're the ones who got Magaraya to build the new Earth.
Right after the first one was demolished for that hyperspace bypass.
Let's talk about adding insult to injury.
I know, right? But do the mice ever get to Arthur's brain?
They try. Oh, they definitely try.
What do?
They have this weird dinner party.
Okay.
And that's where they say they want to dissect his brain.
What?
Yeah, they're hoping to find a little piece of the question in there.
That's a little intense even for these mice.
Right. But they say they'll give him a new brain.
Oh, really?
An electronic one.
And what will this new brain do?
Oh, just basic stuff like what? And where's the tea?
They think no one will notice.
That's what they say.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, and Zaphod thinks it's hilarious.
Zaphod.
Werther, not so much.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so they end up having to escape.
Of course they do. How do they get away from brain-probing mice?
There's a chase, a standoff with the McGrathian police,
Oh, no.
and then Marvin, our depressed robot, he saves them.
Marvin. How does he do that?
He depresses the police ship's computer.
Okay.
So much so that it commits suicide.
Only Marvin.
Only Marvin they get away from the mice,
Yeah.
the cops and Magrathea.
So do they finally figure out the ultimate question?
That's the funny part. It just doesn't happen.
They never find out.
The mice get offered a ton of money
For what?
to host a 5D chat show.
Seriously?
Yeah, so they decide to just take the money.
After millions of years, they just give up.
They figured the universe is run by maniacs anyway.
Okay.
Might as well enjoy the ride.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
So Arthur's left with the answer 42.
But no question.
No question. It's like Adams is saying the journey is what matters.
So we've reached the end of this crazy adventure.
I know, it's been a wild ride.
And we still have so many questions.
That's kind of the point, though, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Maybe there isn't one right answer.
Okay.
It's about enjoying the absurdity and finding your own meaning.
That's a good point. It's like the Hitchhiker's Guide says, don't panic.
Exactly, and always know where your towel is.
This has been an amazing deep dive.
It really has.
Thank you for exploring this crazy universe with us.
Absolutely. Until next time.